This guy stole for $0.6 billion in Bitcoin. His name is Ilya Lichtenstein. Let that sit for a second, because this doesn't start with some Hollywood mastermind plan or deep underground syndicate. So one day in 2016, Ilya Lichtenstein just decides, yeah, I'm going to hack a crypto exchange. The exchange is Bitfinex, and if you've been around crypto long enough, you already know. Exchanges in that era were basically the Wild West. Security, questionable. Risk management, creative. Vibes absolutely chaotic. So somehow, Ilya actually pulls it off. He stole about 119,000 Bitcoin. At the time, that's roughly worth about $70 million, which already sounds insane, until you realize what it becomes later. But we'll get to that. Naturally, chaos follows, withdrawals freeze, trading halts, panic everywhere, and Bitcoin, yeah, it drops over 20% overnight, just straight down. And just to be clear, the Bitcoin network itself wasn't hacked. It was the exchange, which is basically like saying the bank vault was open, but the city is fine. Still doesn't feel great though, does it? But of course, when you steal that much money, you don't just get to enjoy it peacefully. No. Here's the thing about crypto. Even if you don't know who moved the money, you can still see where it goes because everything is on-chain. Public, transparent, forever. Ilya gets the attention of the IRS, and I know people hear IRS and think tax forms, paperwork, mild emotional damage. But no, they actually have a criminal investigation unit. Real agents, real surveillance, real we are showing up at your door energy. So now they're tracking everything, every wallet movement, every transaction, trying to figure out who just casually took $70 million in Bitcoin. But here's the thing about Ilya, he's not dumb. He knows the first rule of stolen money is, don't act like you have stolen money. So instead of flexing it or spending it, he just moves the Bitcoin to the dark web, launders it through different platforms, and then Ilya doesn't touch it, the money just sits. Because when you're sitting on $70 million, patience is part of the strategy apparently. Quietly, over for 0.5 years of basically doing nothing. Meanwhile, Bitcoin does what Bitcoin does. It goes up a lot. So that original $72 million slowly becomes for $0.6 billion. At that point, this isn't just a hack anymore. This is basically one of the biggest financial crimes in US history. And Ilya is just sitting on it like, yeah, I'll deal with it later. Then in 2021, things start moving again. About $760 million in Bitcoin suddenly moves. And this is where Ilya's wife, Heather Morgan, enters the chat. Because apparently this was a couple's operation, which is already a sentence that feels illegal to say out loud. Together, they start moving funds again, splitting transactions, jumping wallets, layering transfers, creating fake identities, fake companies, fake employees, basically building an entire imaginary startup ecosystem, funded entirely by stolen money. But Heather takes it one step further, because while all of this is happening, she decides to build a public persona. More social media, more visibility, more confidence, calling herself an entrepreneur, crypto investor, basically rebranding from possibly laundering billions to creative businesswoman. And then comes the plot twist nobody was prepared for. She starts a rap career under the name
Razzlekhan, the Versace better win. Come real far, but don't know where I'm heading. Motherfucking crocodile of Wall Street.
Yes, that is real. And just to make it funnier in the most absurd way possible, Heather literally wrote a song about cybercrime prevention, like how to protect your business from hackers, while allegedly being involved in one of the biggest crypto hacking cases in history. That's not irony, that's a full plot twisty LC expansion. But behind the scenes, investigators are closing in. Wallets are getting linked, accounts are connecting, transactions are looping back, everything starts pointing in one direction. Eventually, it all leads back to them. Ilya Lichtenstein and Heather Morgan, a married couple in New York, sitting at the center of a multi-billion-dollar blockchain trail. And when authorities finally raid the apartment, it's like a crypto hoarder starter pack. Cash, fake IDs, computers, tablets, burner phones, USB drives, over 50 devices. Basically enough tech to run a small underground civilization. And yeah, they recover most of the stolen Bitcoin, which at that point is worth billions. And eventually, the couple is arrested in New York in 2022. Mugshots taken, lives flipped, case closed. They both take plea deals. Ilya is looking at up to 20 years, Heather up to 5. And honestly, the internet had the only reasonable reaction.
Wait, she had a rap career and a laundering arc?
Which is honestly a level of multitasking most people can't even achieve with a to-do list. But here's the wild part. They're both out now in less than 4 years, and instead of disappearing forever, they're on YouTube talking about their experience and telling their side of the story, which is honestly kind of insane. Imagine being linked to one of crypto's biggest crime stories and then coming back as a content creator. The blockchain may never forget, but apparently YouTube is a little more forgiving. But anyway, that's the tea. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!